Hello, Veritas. Hello, hello. Do me a favor and let me know if you can hear me on the live stream. Please type in the chat and just let me know that you can hear me, please, and thank you. Okay. Perfect. Fantastic. Thank you, guys. All right. We are going to get started tonight with the Sing to the Lord. After that, we're going to be going to Heal Our Brokenness. And then after that, we're going to be going to Be Thou My Vision. And we're going to do some broad strokes tonight. Not too much into the weeds. But before we sing all the way through on this part, let's just do one thing, please. Can we, yes, that shout for joy, and actually strumpets too. Let's go ahead and start for, yeah, that'd probably be easiest. Top of 10, please. Shout for joy to the Lord, all the earth. Ba-da-da-da. Top of 10, shout for joy. And let's have, Casey, let's have you on baritone.
Okay.
For this.
So you want me on bass too?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do it.
Yeah, we'll just have you on all the tenor parts.
Cool.
And I think you get one tenor, two part on page 14, last measure. That's when it starts up. Jay, can we have you go to tenor 2 when it splits right there?
Yes.
Bottom of 14, I think, is when that happens.
It's on 14 to 15.
We'll let Jake make that mark so he's ready.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, it was not in the printed copy, so I'm opening on my iPad.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that's good. All right, so everybody, just so we know, we're starting at the top of 10. While they're getting ready, make a note in your music, tenor 2s, measure 123. That's a different chord than what you want it to be. It's not the normal thing. That's when we go to minor, okay? So there's a quick funky thing. And then make sure you have that breath mark, sing to the Lord, okay? All right, Jake, you feeling okay?
Yeah, great.
Perfect. All right, well, in case you're wondering who we have on keys tonight, we have the one and the only Jim Roman. Yes, there he is. I was expecting Zelda. And then on tenor, we have Jake. On baritone, we have Jake. On baritone, we have Casey. On bass, we have Casey.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Top of 10. Shout for joy. I'll give you 1, 2, 1. All right, here we go. Breathe in. Yes, here we go. 1, 2, 1.
Shout for joy to the Lord, all the earth.
And a 1.
Burst into jubilant song with music. Make music to the Lord.
And a 1.
With the harp, and the sound of singing.
And
with trumpets, 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 trumpets. Shout for joy before the Lord. Shout for joy. Let our sea resound. Let our rivers clap their hands. Let our mountains sing for joy. Let them sing before the Lord.
1.
Sing to the Lord.
Sorry.
Sing to the Lord.
And
Sing to the Lord a new song. A new song. Sing to the Lord. Sing to the Lord.
Yeah, it's okay.
Sorry, I went to the tenor one.
Yeah, no, that's okay. If you're wondering what I'm doing at home, I just realized when we started singing, I could hear a whole bunch of Casey, and I went, where's our tenor?
Okay.
So I was doing this, and I probably made no sense, but I was trying to move faders, so forgive me. So let me just do a quick adjustment, and that'll make life easier for all people's dee-da-dee. In case you're wondering, this past setting was for James. James, I know you're on here. So I had the tenor down a smidgen in comparison. All right, Casey, Actually, Jay, can I get you to sing real fast this Shout for Joy?
Yeah, I got
Oh,
a page.
there you are.
I'm very loud.
All right, top of 10. And 1.
Shout for joy to the Lord, all the earth. Burst into jubilant song with music.
Good, thank you. Okay, all right, guys. Now, we're going to do one thing. We're going to isolate the tenor 2 part, just so we can have that. Let's start at the bottom of, or top of page 14. Pick up to last 2 measures. Sing to the Lord, sing to the Lord. And that's when we're in the tenor 2 part, okay? Here we go, just the tenor. And Jim, could you play the accompaniment? 1, 2, ready, and 1.
Sing to the Lord.
And 1.
Sing to the Lord. Are we at the same?
Jim, we're on top of 14, last 2 bars. All right, here we go, one more time. And 1.
Sing to the Lord.
And 1, off, and 1.
Sing to the Lord. Sing to the Lord. A new song. A new song. Sing to the Lord.
Yeah,
Sing.
yeah, that's good. Let's isolate 122. And can we just do this out of rhythm? Can we get the C natural? Ready, sing.
Sing to the Lord.
Yeah, and that's so hard because it's the only time it happens and it's way out of left field. Let's add Casey to this. Casey, can you sing baritone? Let's start at measure page 14, same place, top of 14, last 2 bars. Sing to the, here we go, and 1.
Sing to the Lord.
And 1, sorry.
Sing to the Lord. Sing to the Lord. A new song. A new song. Sing to the Lord.
And
Sing to
lift.
the Lord.
Yeah, make sure everybody at home you get that lift after sing to the Lord. Make sure you take you can have an entire dotted quarter rest. You can have an entire beat to yourself, okay, as long as you promise to breathe. Let's do that once more. Same place, top 14, but we'll add the accompaniment this time, and it'll be baritone and tenor 2 parts, okay? All right, same place, last time. Ready? I'll give you 1, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 1.
Sing to the
1, 2, 1, and 1.
Sing to the Lord. Sing to the Lord.
A new song,
A new song. Sing to the Lord.
and 1, lift, sing to lift. Yeah, and that's eat your Wheaties, okay? Sing to the Lord. That is the most awkward interval ever. Ever. Shame, shame, shame. Thank you in advance, tenor 2s, for your contributions. All right, let's jump to the very beginning, and let's have Casey spend some time on bass 2 part. And I still, Jake, if it's okay with you, I'd like for us to have you still sing tenor 2, because the interior voice, I think, is sometimes harder to hear. So, all right, so we're going to run it all the way to page 14, where we just stopped. And we'll do bass 2 and tenor 2, okay? And you don't need the 4-bar intro, so let's start on bar 5. Sing to the Lord, Lord. 1, 2, ready, and 1.
Sing to the Lord.
1, off, 1.
Sing to the Lord. Sing to the Lord. A new song. Sing to the Lord. A new song.
And 1. Gentle.
Has done marvelous things. His right hand and his holy arm
Change.
have worked salvation for him.
Salvation.
The Lord has made his salvation known and revealed his righteousness to the nations.
And gentle.
He has remembered his love and his faithfulness.
1.
To the
ends of the
ends of the earth.
have seen the salvation of our God.
And
Shout for joy to the Lord of the earth.
and a one.
Burst into jubilant song with
Music.
make music to the Lord. With the harp and the sound of singing.
And
With trumpets, 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 trumpets. Shout for joy before the Lord. Shout for joy. Let us sing
Yes.
his song. Let our
Rivers
rivers
clap
clap their hands. Let our mountains sing for joy. Let them sing before the Lord.
and we're done.
Sing.
Fantastic. And guys at home, I want you to watch this recording specifically so you can follow these two musicians when they make changes from it being yum bum 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 to da da dee da dee. Such a stark difference in the way they're singing, and you need to do that, and you can. So use this as a reference. Okay, let's go back. Do the same chunk, but let's do the other two voice parts. So we'll be baritone and tenor 1. We're having the guys do all these different singing tonight. They are earning their keep tonight. All right, measure 5, same place, and then we're going to be done with this. Yum bum bum. 1, 2, ready, and
Sing to the Lord. Sing to the Lord. Sing to the Lord a new song. A new song. Sing to the Lord a new song. For he has done marvelous things. His right hand and his holy arm have worked salvation for him, salvation. The Lord has made his salvation known and revealed his righteousness to the nations. He has remembered his love and his faithfulness to the house of
this is the echo, and all the
ends
ends.
of the earth have seen the salvation of our God. Shout for joy to the Lord of the earth.
And 1.
Burst into jubilant song with music. Make music to the Lord. With the harp and the sound of singing.
And with trumpets.
Trumpets, trumpets, trumpets. Shout for joy before the Lord. Shout for joy. Let us hear his song. Let
Changing.
our rivers clap their hands. Let our mountains sing for joy. Let them sing before the Lord.
And we're off. Okay, and Jake is doing this thing at measure 102 that I think is lovely, and he's utilizing the L of let, and he is springboarding. And so we have that. Jim, can you just give me measure 98 tenor? Yeah, right there. Thank you. Yeah, so he's using this as that momentum to build, and when he gets to 102, it's explosion. All right, and you don't be afraid of that. Send your sound out. Yeah. Let the rivers clap their hands. And he let it go, let it go. That's what he does, right? And so as a tenor, you must do the same thing. Okay, do not be afraid of that. Pitch the L on the top note. Okay, you don't get to do this. Let the rivers clap their hands. We don't get to do that. Yeah, clap their hands. It starts on that pitch, okay? It's tough, but you can do it. Use more air than you think you need, okay? Okay, let's put that away. Thanks, guys. Let's take a look at, now I think I told you, we're going to go to Heal Our Brokenness. And we're going to start, I wonder if you know where we're going to start. We're going to start.
Whatever that is. Lord, we lift our
Yeah, measure 6, picking up into bar 7. And let's go ahead and do our 2 interior voices first, please. All right. Actually, there's 3 of us here. Tenor 1, tenor 2, baritone. Perfect. Guys, we're going to start at measure 6. This is beat 3. Lord the baritone, Lord the tenors. I'll give you 1, 2 coming in on beat 3. This is cursive writing. Tension, tension, tension. Okay? Here we go. Lord, Lord. 1 and 2. Lord, we lift our brokenness to you, great healer. Good. And everybody on brokenness 2. There's a lift after ness, okay? But remember, it's a tiny, tiny lift, and the S of ness cannot wake the baby,
Or
okay?
if you're not sure where it goes, do what I do and just don't say the S and let Jake do it.
That
Carry
too.
over, so
Oh, somebody said the S.
you gotta trust someone.
Well, okay, so I don't have to do too much in post to clean that up, so lift after that, and if you don't feel comfortable putting the S, you'll go broken to you, okay? Remember, good singers pick their battles, yes? Let's do that same thing, guys, and let's do the bottom 3 voices. Bottom 3 voices. This is measure 6.
So you want me to do T2 now?
Yes, please. Lord the bass note, Lord the baritone, Lord the tenor 2, Lord, Lord. Here we go. Bum, bum. 1 and 2. Lord, we lift our brokenness to you, great healer. Yes, okay? All right. We're going to start from the top, guys, and we're going to do tenor 1, tenor 2, baritone. And Jim can cover the bass 2 for us, please. Yay, unison. Oh, Lord, unison. I'm going to keep saying that. You must breathe in on the shape of the vowel and come in on the same note as whoever you're listening to while you're singing this, okay? All right. Even though you are at home and you're not surrounded by your peers singing, I hope maybe you might have some headphones on and you can kind of feel a little bit of immersion in this, but I do want you to explore the dynamic variations, even though you're by yourself at your house, okay? Really, really take the time and be out of your comfort zone and make the most of your pianos and the most of your fortes, okay? Worst that can happen is your neighbor come over and knock on the door. All right, here we go. I'll give you just a big pickup. And Lord God, hear our prayer. Oh, hear our prayer. Lord, we lift our brokenness to you, great healer. Oh, hear our prayer. Oh, Lord. Yeah, okay. And I don't want to do that again because I liked what we did there. So I hope while you're at home, you don't just dial in your dynamics, okay? That's one thing I actually was doing a review of what all have we covered with the guys, what points have we made, are we still keeping them as close to if they were in person as possible? And the one thing that I wrote or didn't write down, I was looking over and I went, oh my God, I haven't even talked about dynamics very much. You know, it's just more or less depending on the guys to do it the way they're supposed to, and they do, and I don't really much say it to you, but I think it's important. So don't slack off at home, okay? All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our third piece of music, which I know that you all know, Be Thou My Vision. And we're going to skip the first verse, and we're going to go straight to page 4, bar 26. Be thou my vision. Oh, half step up, yeah. Be thou. All right, that's so unfulfilling to think you're in the. I like E flat better than E.
Ryan, when I was in high school, I sang this, but we pitched it down a half step. So every time we sing this in here, it's like blowing my mind.
Yeah, when I sang this with Jeb Mueller, we also did it down a half step.
Okay, so it's not
See, I don't feel bad for saying it. I think it feels better in E flat. See, this is good. All right. Can you give us the? I still hear E flat. Can you give me more E? Okay. Oof. All right. Remember last week we did this and we talked about this potentially being almost like shape note singing because it's so exposed and there's all these fourths and fifths in this. Okay. Jim is not going to. Actually, that starts on page 6. I apologize. But we're going to start right here on bottom of 4. When we get to page 6, this is when the baritones have the melody line, and then you have the basses and the tenors doing this weird stuff around it. Jim is going to drop out on, he's not going to do the piano part for us starting on bar 42, and we'll just do it a cappella because I really, really want us to lock those in, okay? All right, let's start. Bottom of page 4. Be thou. Here we go. 1, 2, and.
Be thou my wisdom, stand thou my truth. I am with thee, and thou with me. Thy great Father,
We're going to borrow time. Two baritones coming in. Riches I heed not, nor man's empty praise. Thou my inheritance now and always. Thou only hast in my heart. My King of heaven, my treasure. Yeah, good. And it's tough, guys. And I want to do one thing. So, and here's what I find that changes this little section from being, I've been binge watching Brothers and Sisters on Netflix. It's a Devon's television show. I don't know, but I love it because they inevitably, they have terrible communication skills and these seemingly tiny issues turn into massive ones just because they're not communicating.
Who does that
And then
ever
it's,
happen to?
right? And it always resolves itself around the dinner table. They all come together in this multi-million-dollar Beverly Hills home, but they, what it is. They have all these problems, right? And they come together and they resolve it around the table, and it's great, and life is good. And the next episode happens, and it happens again, right? It's the basic thing. Well, I feel like every time we start this section, there's miscommunication between the parts. And what I mean is how we finish and start our phraselets. What bothers me is that whenever we don't prepare the releases, and we don't treat the endings with the nuance they deserve. If you just kind of go, here's the end of my phrase, and then here I start again, it's going to sound disjointed. Okay, so I would urge you when you're at home, I would rather you spend your energy, your brain power on how you start each phraselet and even more brain power on how you finish each phraselet, okay? This is for your individual voice parts. Can we do just page 6, please, guys? So we'll start one more time. Bum, bum, ba, da, da, da. Every line is a solo line, okay? And each line has its own little arch, okay? Bum, bum. Here we go. No, it's okay. Ready? Riches I heed not, nor man's empty praise. Thou mine inheritance And I ran out of breath on 54. Sorry.
Tuning went a little. I did not know where tonic was, honestly, at the end of that page.
Correct, yeah.
I mean, yes.
Let's start, everybody, at measure 50. Measure 50. Jim, can you give us that A major chord? Ba, thou. Let's start right there on bar 50. Here we go. 1 and 2 and T. In my heart, my King of heaven, my treasure thou art. That was better. There's still one little part, and I think that's just more. We'll get that later. But how did you feel about that, Jake?
Yeah, it's better. It's just shaky here, and I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, I think what we were talking about earlier, there's a lot of open things in these chords. It's not just these full chords, right? It's a lot of fifths and a lot of fourths and these things, and that can feel very naked. Mm-hmm. And I think we didn't do it with the piano, but I don't really like it with the piano on this part, to be honest with you. I think the piano is in juxtaposition with the way the voicing is. It's just my thoughts. So we might just, not right now tonight because we're out of time, but I do think we're going to take a little next rehearsal, and we're going to spend just a little bit of time on this one little chunk. We'll dig in just a little bit so we can really lock this in. All right, guys, let's do one last thing, and let's go ahead and start on bar 62. This is page 8. Bar 62, this is page 8. We'll go to the end, and if it splits, let's just go ahead and take the high notes.
Cool.
All right, here we go. On unison, or octaves. High King, 1 and 2 and T.
High King of heaven, my victory won. May I reach joys, O bright heaven's sun. Heart of my honor, whatever befall, still be my vision.
1, 2, T. Off, 2, T. 1, 2. Oh, lift. Ruler of lift. And then we'll cue the piano and off. Bum, bum. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Off before they die of asphyxiation. All right, guys. So we'll work that out one more time next week so everybody's on the same page. But thank you to everybody here. Thank you. Good rehearsal, guys. I'll see you on the Zoom in about 2 minutes. Thank you.